In fact, the USDJPY is the most profitable trade for us this week, sincerely speaking. So we have been buying this pair since the beginning, I think since Tuesday of this week. Though it was a little bit lethargic, things were very, very slow at the beginning of the week, and not until Tuesday's New York session, we begin to see some bullish traction in the favor of the US dollar. Now, at the beginning of the week, we saw this old choppy situation where price action was trapped within the 136.260, as you can see here, and the 135.700. So within this whole scenario, it lasted about 24, 36, 40 hours. We had price action within that range, and this might be as a result of the expectation of the RSI, as in the retail sales on, is it on Tuesday or Wednesday we had the retail sales. So this was our expectation of that. So we had this indecision going on in this market. And one thing we did, you know how we do here, is that we want to see price action either break out of the resistance line or breakdown of the support line for trading opportunities. And on Tuesday New York session, we finally saw the breakout of that structure. And in fact, if you had missed out on that opportunity, the market presented to us another chance to be part of that move as it came back to retest that structure. And since then, price action has been finding its way all the way to the upside. And interesting enough for us, we also identify key levels where we are going to be adding more position to our existing trade. So we had key levels like the 136.650, we had the 137.200, we also had the 137.700. All these levels were key levels that we added more position as we rode the move all into our TP target at the 138.400. So it has been quite a profitable trade. So we had a minimum of 3 or 4 positions in this market during the course of the week. So we were able to scoop over 500 pips, 600 pips in profit. So congrats to everyone who had been part of this profitable trade. Now that we are going into the New York session today, what is going to be our plans? How do we intend to take advantage of a potential trading opportunity today? Well, we have a situation right here that we can use to guide our trading activity. Now, the first thing first here is the fact that as soon as price got into that 138.750, we have been witnessing some selling pressure around this area, negating the continued buying pressure in this market. And this led to one interesting thing that happened this morning, and that was the first time price action will be breaking down this trend line. And if you go back again to the beginning of the week, you will see how that trend line had been a major determinant of our bullish momentum so far this week. So you can see at no point in time did we see price break down that trend line. So it was a very strong trend line where price has been respecting it throughout the course of the week, and not until this morning that we saw how price broke down that structure. And in fact, we also have a key level that also shares a confluence with that trend line at the 138.300. So right now, going into the New York session today, we have 2 or 3 key structures we are going to be using to guide our trading activities going forward. Now, the first one is this trend line that was broken. The second one is the 138.300, and the third one here is the lower highs I was able to map out here to give us this red highlighted descending trend line you can see on your screen right now. So this is what we are going to be using to guide our trading activity for today. Now the question is, how are we going to use this trend line to guide our moves for today? Now that we have a breakdown of this trend line here, you all know from a technical standpoint that whenever price breaks down a key structure, there is a chance that price action could come back to retest the structure. Now we have the 138.300, we have the bearish trend line, and in fact we have the bullish trend line that was broken to the downside. But what we are going to be looking for here to be part of a bearish move is to see price action transition into a reversal pattern. It could be a double top structure, a head and shoulder pattern, rising wedge, lower lows, lower highs, whatever case it may be. If it forms up on our lower time frame, then we are going to be getting ready to sell. We could have a sell stop below the 138.300 as soon as price action tests the structures. Then we want to join the bearish move to the downside. And for me, if the bearish move continues, I want to be seeing this as a retracement of the impulsive move that started this week. Now, if I zoom out of the structure so that you can have an holistic view of what has been going on here since Wednesday of last week, you will see that price action has been bullish, and we already have a trend line here which has been supporting that momentum since last week Wednesday. And if it so happens that the sell pressure that just projected now happens, we might likely be having that area along the trend line here as our TP target. Now it depends on how price action now reacts to that trend line that will now determine if we are going to be adding more sell position or probably get ready for another wave of bullish momentum. So a breakdown of the trend line will welcome selling opportunities, while the appearance of buy pressure on our lower time frame will welcome buying opportunities in this market. So that is how we are going to be selling the USDJPY for today. So as long as price action remains below the bearish trend line that we just spotted here this morning, we feel comfortable in our sell position and look out for more opportunities to be part of the bearish move. So that is how we are going to be selling this one. But if at any point in time during the New York session today, price action breaks above the trend line at the 138.300, then at this point we might likely be seeing the beginning of the second wave of the bullish momentum. And remember, when price breaks out of the bearish trend line here, we are not jumping into conclusions, as this could turn out to be a false breakout. So we need further confirmation that will help us to validate the strength of the buyers in this market. So what we are going to be doing now is to wait for price action to do some retest of structure. We see signs that buyers are getting stronger, that sellers are unable to break back below the trend line. Then at this point, we are going to be joining a bullish momentum. Now, a breakout of the 138.750 will welcome more opportunities in this market. So we have a buy stop order above that area to capture that move if price action ever breaks out of the 138.750. So these are my views here on the USDJPY for today. I hope I made myself very clear, and I hope you are able to screenshot my screen so that you can use it as a reference point when you're about to make your individual decision for today. And remember, we have an high impact event coming up in about 4 hours from now. That is the first chairman's speech. So every open positions must be well secured. Move your stop loss accordingly, lock in some profit, secure your position, as the chances of volatile move happening is very, very high. And we also want to ensure that we will be on standby for all the positions we were able to review today, the structures we were able to review today, so that you can catch that move when it finally happens. So it's on this note I wish you best of luck, and then I wish you a wonderful and beautiful weekend, as I look forward to seeing you same time on Monday, 10 a.m. UTC, 11 a.m. West African time, as we come here again to review how well and we are going to be preparing for the new week. Do have a wonderful evening, everyone.